Welcome to my podcast. Today I'm going to talk about another important case, and it's basically a new era in medicine, and we face it everywhere, so we should be aware of, and we need to tackle it effectively. And if you do those simple steps, basically in the GMC required examination lab 2, I assure you that you will get a good score and for the good understanding of this topic. So basically, after you introduce yourself and double-check the patient name, date of birth, as we always agreed, you will ask the patient, how can I help you today? So the patient might say, doctor, I'm feeling that I'm not okay, I'm feeling that I'm not right, I'm feeling like I'm not in the right body, those sort of things the patient might say. So you need to ask, can you tell me more about it? How it comes, how did you know about this, how did you start feeling around this, anything in particular. So let just the patient talk in more details about their own issue, and also ask them if they have any thoughts or idea, and what's the expectation for them. So that's basically, the patient might say, I started to have this feeling when I started my puberty, or I just felt I don't belong to the society, or might say that I don't fit with the society. I feel I'm different. There might be certain reasons underneath this. So if you see, for instance, now in medicine, it's not like the used one or the traditional medicine that when we were studying medicine, whereby we say, oh, there is genetic variation, chromosomal abnormality like XXY, X0, and ambiguous genitalia, or for the sex development and gender. At that time, it was considered as a minor topic. However, nowadays, it's growing up and it's becoming a major topic, and a lot of people, even they started to change the gender from the we used to know, which is when we say sex, for instance, male, female. Nowadays, it's not called sex, it's called gender. And how can you identify yourself, whether male, female, not decided, fluidity, gender, transgender, binary, non-binary. There's a lot of terms you will come across whenever you fill an application, and always the list goes up. And we just need to know at least what each of them means, and we will be familiar when we deal with those kind of terms, in order not to insult or make anyone uncomfortable. We need always to adopt the non-judgment attitude and the lifelong learning, because that's basically what's happening. So fast forward moving, nowadays there's a lot of people who defy or does not recognize those traditional understanding of the male, female sex element, and they like to be called intersex, or maybe they will say none. I'm just none. I'm not he or she. And it's constituting around certain studies stated 1.7% of the whole population. And those kind of people, it's been said that they struggle because they're not quite sure what's going on, how to make them feel emotionally, physically. And some they said it's like chronic illness, such as diabetes, according to one article I just read. So we just need to remind now ourselves that as a professional, we always need to take the no judgment attitude, and always try to be compassionate show genuineness and decency and understanding, and the care provided to the patient who come up to your clinic seeking help or seeking advice or seeking medical care. And always try to ask the patient in front of you to identify themselves with the pronoun, whether it's he, she, none, according to their wishes. We just need to document that and try to be understanding, as I mentioned. It has been said that those kind of patients, they don't have any interest in the medical care because they feel they're being judged, and usually they have, it has been said that they have a higher risk of premature death and ill health because they don't care about their health, they don't attend to the medical advice or the medical practice, and usually they have depression, anxiety, and they might have a higher suicidal rate due to many reasoning around this, such as the social factor, which could hinder their attendance to the GP practice, seeking any medical advice or care, because they have that feeling that they've been judged and people have assumption about them. And also some they were being labeled as psycho, or they're going to call them as transgender, or people, psycho, so which is sometimes would affect their mental well-being and their attitude to tend to the medical practice. So just try to be in your practice, try to not take the attitude of judgment. I recall once we were like practicing when I attended one time, and a doctor seems to be unaware of this kind of thing, and he was saying like, oh, we need to tell him, oh, this is haram, and you'll be punished and this kind of stuff. We just need basically where you practice. If you, for instance, we as Muslims sometimes we find this conditions hard to deal with, but try to not bring your religion in this kind of things. Just take it as a medical practitioner. Take a no judgment attitude. Try to understand and try to see what's the patient after, and just try to address their concern, and if there is any further help needed, maybe you can refer. So for instance, there's different ways to refer those kind of patient. The element will lie between surgical, endocrine, psychiatric, if there is a need, because their mental well-being might need to be addressed. You just need to try your, also it's lie between the sex development professional as well, so you can refer them to that, or delegate them in order just to help with the issue that they have, and maybe they can take it in depth to understand their issue and their condition. And of course, after you have addressed all of that, you'll just ask if there is any past medical history, if there is any family history, medication history, allergy history, and just, as I say, don't take attitude of judgment, because it might have a profound impact and the patient might not come back to you, because when you've been nice and welcoming and friendly, warm, the patient will open up to you, will tell you. I recall once, it was in the professional practice anyway, and the person was a practitioner as well. So I was just, chatting a normal chat. And I mean, in myself, I might be surprised, but I didn't make the patient or the professional feel uncomfortable. So he was opening up to me. He was saying, well, I'm unidentified, blah, blah, blah. And I just started this at a certain period of time. And I realized I don't belong to this community. I have my own issue. So I just took the non-judgment attitude. You just, after all, you have your own belief, you have your own religion, but you can't be judgmental or punishing someone, or it's not your business. It's just you have to be a medical professional with the non-judgment attitude, welcoming, helping to the best of your ability. And as we are a medical professional, we need to be a healer, an educator, and probably advocator if there is a need to. And we just need to be helpful when the need for that. And then if the patient has any, for instance, probably they started any medication or any issue, like OTC, and they wanted you to examine them, so you will say that I'm going to have a chaperone with me just to examine if there is anything in relation to intimate area. And then you will agree about a punishment plan to the patient if the patient is happy to go forward with the referral thing I just mentioned, and the action plan, and always safety net them if there is any issue that doesn't seem right, or if their mental well-being is deteriorating, or any physical issue as well, that they need to come back to you immediately, or ring the practice, or go to the A&E if there is the need for that. So I hope that I just covered an important topic, which is a big thing nowadays. You just need to try to address it and deal with it effectively, smartly, and in non-judgment attitude. Thank you.